Alright, are we going to Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to Women's Football Chat Live. Our coverage of the Women's Super League continues today as we move into the last game of the weekend. It's Manchester City taking on Everton. A game that I think coming into this weekend we thought would be a fairly routine victory for Man City. A fairly routine game where they just need to keep winning games. But now it holds even more importance because if they win today, they could go top of the league. Harry, how important is it, even though it's so early in the season, for City to establish themselves as the front runners?
Absolutely massive. I think any side, when you are competing for a title, you want to set the pace. You want to be leading. You don't want to be you want to be chased. You don't want to be the chasers. We saw how it nearly paid off for Man City a couple of years ago, where they did set the pace for the majority of the season until the very, very end. So it's one of those where you want to get out in front. You want to be putting the pressure on the other teams to come and get you. And there's a lot of pressure on City today. Playing last, it has presented them with the opportunity that they know the situation. They know the outcome of this game. They've got to take advantage of that, because if they go top of the league today, that is a massive step in the right direction. All three of the other big sides dropping points this weekend, or all dropping points yesterday. Massive for City to take advantage of that. It would be a huge boost, I think, to the team as well. And it looks nicer when you're top of the league rather than when you're chasing, because it might put a little more pressure on you, but you don't want to be behind. If you're constantly behind in the season, it makes it more difficult to go and win the league. So to go and set the pace, to get out early in front, even by a point, would be huge for Man City today. And they will back themselves to do it. They've played very well this season. They deserve to be in the situation they are in. They've just got to seal the deal today, take advantage of the other teams dropping points and dropping points to each other, and go out, beat a very tricky Everton side, and walk away after 8 game weeks at top of the WSL table, leading by a point.
Yeah, and as much as people look at it and go, well, they'll only be top because Chelsea have played their 3 toughest games and City still have that United game to come. And of course, that could be a draw and everything swaps round. That will be a massively important game next Saturday. But on the same, or to argue the opposite, actually, Man City, based on expected points, should be top of the league. And Chelsea have ridden their luck at times this season. So I think it wouldn't be without its merit, City leading the title race at this early stage. I think it speaks volumes about how it is easier to manage the WSL schedule when you don't have Champions League football, and they're using that to their fullest advantage. I think they've done really well, though, to adapt to the injuries they've had. Without Lauren Hemp, without Alex Greenwood, without Rebecca Knack until now, they've done really well for players to step up into those roles and to do the jobs of those stars. So, yeah, this will be a big test. I think Everton are a good side. They're a side who would have looked at West Ham and Liverpool earlier, but almost winning games, both drawing in the end. But they'd have looked at that and they'd have seen that as a bit of a warning sign. They need to start picking up points soon. They're 10th now in the division. A win today could completely transform, really, their fortunes, because suddenly they could be 9th in the league and joint on points with Brighton, which suddenly looks a lot more much better position for Everton to be in. So it's an important game today for both sides, and it's one where we've seen Everton cause upsets for City before. What do you think the likelihood is that they could do something like that again today?
I think it's slim, to be honest, but it definitely could happen. Obviously, the Everton side that beat City last season, it felt very different. Everton were they were playing okay, but that was a very good performance on that day. This season, it's been a tough campaign for Everton since the Derby Day win on the opening Matchweek. They haven't looked particularly great. They've been struggling a lot. I thought last week they were very lucky to get a point, because I don't really know what Aston Villa were doing. They just couldn't defend at all. So I think Everton got away with one there, levelling up late on. I think that they need a good performance. Maybe this is the kind of game where they could spark it into life and they could kick on from here. But I think it's important that they play well today. Even if they don't get the result, they've got to show that they can compete. They've got to put a good performance in, because too many games this season they've looked second best by a mile. So it needs to be better from Sorensen and from his team. I think that at the moment they are very much looking over their shoulders rather than looking forwards. But as you say, if they get 3 points today, suddenly things are going to be a bit more positive. So got to take advantage of all the teams around them drawing. No one in their pack actually won today, because obviously West Ham, Leicester, Brighton and Liverpool all drew. So an opportunity for Everton to try and, if they get something, if they can win this game, then that would be a big boost to take advantage of all those dropping points. It will be hard to get something from this match. They are going to have to play at their very, very best. But as you say, it's happened before, so I wouldn't completely write it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with that, let's get into the lineups for today's game. We'll start with the hosts. Everton are 4-2-3-1 for the Toffees. In goal, Emily Ramsey keeps her spot despite some pretty poor goalkeeping in recent weeks, but with no other options fit to play, other than Katie Startup, who is on loan from Man City, is eligible to play, apparently, but doesn't start in this game. It is Ramsey from the off. A back four then of Martinez, Mace, Ishikawa and Pacheco. Again, going with the same back four despite issues is a bold choice from Brian Sorensen. In the pivot, it's Wheeler alongside Van Gaal. On one wing, it's Payne. On the other, Vignola, Hayashi in the 10, and Kelly Gargo leads the line. We saw Gargo back amongst the goals in that Aston Villa game. Everton haven't really had enough of an out-and-out goal scorer. Vignola scored 3 on the opening day. It's been a little bit quiet since. Kelly Gargo, though, back in the line. How important is it that she starts and maintains that form?
It's crucial for Everton. We saw the impact she had when she came in last season. She joined in January and just kept putting the ball in the back of the net consistently, and it transformed Everton's season, and it was a massive change of fortunes. Again, that's what they need from Gargo. Without her last week, they'd have lost that football match. It's as simple as that. Kelly Gargo is a game changer. She can single-handedly win games and earn points for Everton. If they give her the right opportunities, she will find the back of the net. Doesn't matter. We saw last season, doesn't matter what opposition it's against. She can score against anyone in this division if you get the ball to her in the right position. So a massive threat to Man City today, Kelly Gargo. She'll be an absolute handful. They're going to go direct into her and look to get her to hold the ball up or bring others into the game or go alone and use it herself. So City have got to watch out for that. But I think it's exactly what we saw in that Villa game. I look at that Everton front line. I think it looks pretty dangerous. I think, Vignola, Gargo, very dangerous players. I thought Payne actually played well against Villa last week as well. It's just defensively. What can they do? Will they fall apart and look as vulnerable as they have done all season, or can they shore it up and be solid? Because if they had the defensive record they did last season, they'd have put so many more points on the board, because defensively they've really struggled this campaign. But going forwards, they've looked pretty good. And the problem is, against sides like Aston Villa and sides lower down the league, you can get away with these high scoring draws, or these games where you're just trying to outscore the opposition. Against the big sides, you can't do that because they are more defensively solid than that, and they won't let that happen. So they've got to shore up defensively while also allowing their attack to be as dangerous and as potent as it has been so far this campaign.
I think they've got to become more transitional. I don't know why they don't. Brian Johnson wants to play this lovely out of the back football. Why? Who's suited to that in this Everton team?
Yeah.
You look at the attackers, and they would love to play this sort of character. You've got really fast, dynamic wingers. You've got a striker who's big, powerful. She's quick. Play transitional football.
Yeah.
Look to get the ball as quickly as possible from your third to the other. Not, we're going to play out from the back and keep losing the ball because we don't have any players that are good enough to do that. They've got to be more direct in their approach, Everton. I think that's how you hurt Man City. We've looked at how teams have done it this season. You think back to Chelsea on the opening day, the way they were able to do it was having the ball at the back, admittedly, yes, but what they were able to do was bring City onto them and then spring in behind. They weren't really just slowly playing up the pitch. It was very much a deliberate attempt to bring City onto them and then play very quickly through that press and then be very direct, very transitional. And City are vulnerable, I think, in those transitional moments. We've seen it for years now with that City backline, but I think especially with how Jeglertz wants to commit forward players, both in attack but also in the press, that does leave gaps potentially in the backline. The thing I want to touch on with Kelly Gargo is obviously she is linked with a move away in January, and people will go, well, do you not give other players opportunities then with that in mind? But actually, I think she's got a long contract at Everton.
Yeah.
There is no incentive for Everton to sell in January. If they are going to sell, they need her in the best form possible so they can push that price as high as possible. Yeah. Everton shouldn't be selling Kelly Gargo for anything less than $500,000. She's got a contract through to 2028. If she wants to leave, you tell her, tell whichever club you want that you're $500,000 at a minimum. Yeah. They have to get a very good deal if they're going to get rid of, if they're going to lose her. So, they need her. She's their most key player, I would say. Their best goal scorer, a real leader at playing up front. As for the visitors then, Manchester City, it's a 4-3-3 for the citizens today, and they are missing some key players, but the side is as so. In goal, Ayaki Yamashita very much established herself now as the starting number one. In the back four, Kasparai takes the armband today, alongside Rebecca Neck, returning from injury, Rose and Ua Harvey. In midfield, three with the usual pivot of Hasegawa and Blinkill alongside each other, with Miedemar in the 10. On one wing, Bene. On the other, Firmino. And leading the line, Khadija Shaw.
It's a very good City side. I think that it's, again, the majority of it is what we've seen so far this season. I think the defence is the biggest talking point. Obviously, no Alex Greenwood because she is out from injury, and also Rose coming in for Pryor. So a complete change-up of the starting centre-halves, which is half through choice, half being a forced decision. It's obviously risky. It's never an ideal situation. I don't think many teams will want to chop and change their whole centre-half partnership every single game. So it'll be interesting to see how Rose and Knack play with each other, having not started with each other so far this season. I think Rose has... good point. Rose has been a bit hit and miss. I think in some games she's looked okay, some she's looked a little bit uncomfortable, but that's natural with a new centre-half coming into the league. Rebecca Knack back, what a boost that is, and if she can stay fit, what a very, very important player she can be for City, both in the defensive third and in the final third when it comes to corners. But
so how many do you think she's going to score today?
Loads. They're just going to keep putting the ball in the box.
That's the problem. How do you deal with that? Because no side in the league has anyone as tall as Rebecca Knack.
No.
So how do you stop her just heading it in from a corner? No one could find out a way last season.
No.
She's now got potentially a full season where she's fit. How can anyone stop her? We'll find out in today's game. So the side's taking now to the field. So let's get into our predictions for the match. If you're watching along, get involved in the live chat. Let us know your scoreline prediction. I've completely forgot to read people's out earlier, but I will read them out this time. So make sure to get involved in the live chat. Let us know your prediction. We're going to start here in the studio, though. And we'll start, as always, with yourself, Harry. What is your prediction for Everton versus Manchester City? Can the Goodison Park crowd play in, but can Everton pull off an upset? Or will City course to top of the league?
I'm going to back City to take full advantage and go to the top of the table. I think they've got the quality to beat Everton today, and even if it is a better performance, just the Toffees have looked too suspect defensively. They've looked too open, and this City side, that City front line, is a kind of front line that could completely tear Everton apart. I am going to say Everton 0, Manchester City 3. I think it'll be pretty convincing from City, and they will be the table toppers at the end of this game week. I will say goal scorers to be 1 for Khadija Shaw, 1 for Ayuba Firmino because she's been in brilliant form so far this season, and a third goal, I'm going to back it, Rebecca Knack from a corner, 3-0 City, a very, very convincing performance to send Jeglertz and his team to the top of the league.
Yeah, fair enough. I think for me, this game is one of two stark contrasts. It's either 1-0 Everton or 5-0 Manchester City. I'm not 100% sure which one I'm going to back, but I think I'm going to go with the City huge victory. I think the way they're playing at the moment, they just look incredibly difficult to stop. But I think the way Everton are playing, they look incredibly easy to stop.
Yeah.
So, movable force beats unstoppable objects. So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting. But yeah, I think Everton have just looked really poor. I think this will be a bit of a wake-up call, a drubbing at the hands of Man City. City are a side very much capable of pulling off a result, or and a performance like that. So yeah, I think it'll be a big win for City today. I'll say 5-0. I think it will be a brace for Khadija Shaw. I'll say a goal for Viviana Miedema. I think she needs one again. From open play, I mean, she's had a few where she's scored from a corner, or I want to see her involved in the general play for City. I want to see her linking up in the final third more effectively. I'll say Firmino as well, because I think she's been in really good form recently for City. And, I mean, I'd be stupid to say anything other than Rebecca Knack from a corner. Yeah. I feel stupid only go for one Rebecca Knack goal. So, yeah, I'll say Rebecca Knack as well to score on her return. But, yeah, keep the predictions coming in the live chat. Shell going 2-1 Toffees. Nigel saying 3-1 Man City. Also giving us an update on the WSL 2 games. Sheffield United 2-0 up against Crystal Palace. Sunderland leading Pompey by a goal to 0. And Bristol City 3-0 up against Ipswich Town. But yeah, so we'll keep tabs across those games as well as we move into this last game of the WSL weekend. Everton taking on Manchester City at Goodison Park.
I think that City will want to make this comfortable. I think you're right in terms of they can get ahead. That they will hope that they can then start to rest up and recuperate, but also give opportunities to other players. Lauren Hemp back on the bench today for City. I'm sure that Jeglertz would love to, even if it's just 5-10 minutes, to get her back on the pitch. Again, resting. I know they're not in the Champions League and that it's not as pivotal, but I still think resting up your big guns for Gino, sure, they've been brilliant this season, but you need them to do that for the whole season. And in order to do that, you need to rest them up. You need to, make sure that they're fully fit and ready to go in every single game. So yeah, I think that would be important. Again, Nak's another player. They won't want her playing 90 minutes today on her return. They'll want to make sure they can rest up. So I think for City, it's important they get out early, get out fast and put this Everton side to bed. Because if you don't, we spoke about that Everton front line, it's definitely the kind of team that could hurt you potentially on the break. I just think Everton have been so poor defensively this season that they're going to end up getting torn apart by what is a very, very clinical, well, a very good City front line. They haven't been that clinical. They've created the most big chances in the league, but they've also missed the most. So I think they'll be hoping that they can be a little bit less wasteful in front of goal and really start to take their chances. And as you say, if they do that, then they could definitely end up scoring something like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think every team who creates the most, though, is most likely to miss the most. Is there a percentage on that? Or
no.
That would be helpful. But yeah, no, I think that is... and that is interesting. City are very good at creating chances. I think, for me, City have got to be really careful with Khadija Shaw because they don't really have another striker option because Viviana Miedema is playing in central midfield and their options are Kerry and Fowler, who could also lead the line, and they're both injured. So I've got to be really careful with Khadija Shaw. But yeah, no, I think it's been interesting. I think City are a very decent side. I think they're playing some nice football. I think the fact they don't have Champions League football is really benefiting them this year. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I still wonder about their ability to beat United. I think United will probably get the better of them next weekend, even if it's just a draw. But I think this should be a comfortable Man City victory based on the way both these sides have played. But I don't think anything this weekend has gone the way we expected it. There was upsets.
True.
There was upsets yesterday with Arsenal managing a nick a draw against Chelsea, Aston Villa beating United. There was almost 2 upsets today, but still, Liverpool, West Ham, pointless in the first 7, but both picked up points today. And London City beat Tottenham 4-2. So it's been a real crazy weekend. What a way to cap it off if Everton can get a win at Goodison Park against Manchester City. Well, we are about to get underway here at Goodison Park. Should be a good one today. City aiming to go top. Everton with their eyes on 9th. Very different ends of the table, but both, you feel, need wins.
Yeah, 100%. They both need wins. I think it's important that you say with big games on the horizon for City, you want to put yourself in the best position possible, even if you do lose those games. So important for both sides. They take 3 points today.
And so, to get us underway, it's Viviana Miedema from the middle, waiting for the referee's whistle. There is a delay to kick off here, as the referee is going for a jog. Not sure what he's not happy about, but he's pointing at a lot of things.
He wants something moved back.
Brilliant. I hope it's not the advertising orders, that might take a while. Oh, the cone's too close to the pitch. Brilliant. Well, now that huge hazard has been dealt with, we can get underway here at Goodison Park, waiting for the referee's whistle, which does sound at last. We're underway here for the last game of Twfc Game Week 8. And it's Man City who get us started. Everton versus Manchester City in this WSL matchup. Here's Shaw, great hold-up, strong challenge from Ruby Mace, but City keep the ball in play. Uahabi.
Love that from Mace. 10 seconds in, setting the tempo on Khadija Shaw. You are not going to have it easy against us today. Let's get stuck in and have at her.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you've got to be. Nak. Cross now to Uahabi, into for Gino, whose touch is a little bit loose, but she holds on to the ball regardless. Blinkilda. Now Nak. I think Everton have also got to be really wary of getting bogged down today, because already they're playing a 4-5-1.
Yes.
And if they don't get out at all today, it's going to be really difficult. And already City finding gaps in the system. Miedema breaks inside, and it's really good defending. Was that the arm, though? There is going to be a debate in there, but it's not been given here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was okay.
Claire Wheeler, but I'm not sure if it's the arm or not.
I think it was down. I think Miedema overcomplicated that. The initial flick over the top of the defender was brilliant, but then she tried to flick it over and flick it past another player. Just need to hit it. But again, that fast start from City, looking to put the ball over the top, where Everton really do struggle. It's the gaps between the centre-half partnerships and the full-backs for Everton where they've been absolutely torn apart this
There
season.
from Kasper to Miedemar in the pocket, back towards Firmino to Shaw. Big save from Ramsey. Because normally when Shaw's in the 6-yard box, there's only one end result. And that is Man City scoring. But Shaw denied at close range by Emily Ramsey. Too easy, though, from the Everton backline.
That's a huge save. I mean, I'd love to see that back again and find out how on earth Khadija Shaw was onside in that position, apparently.
I'm not sure she was. Bene down the line, looking for the run of Miedemar. One back, though. And it gets messy from Everton. And it's out now for a City throw.
We've said this for the majority of the campaign. That Everton are probably, they're the masters of their own downfall in a certain way. So look back here. Really good football again from City. It's that gap they find with Miedemar, who gets it to Firmino. Shaw was onside.
Yeah, Shikawa just stood, keeping everyone onside. Hasegawa. Now Kasper. Loops it in there, looking for Shaw. Heads on to Firmino, who can't quite steer at goals, but does keep the ball in touch. Ua Harvey. Firmino. Blinkilda Brown. Back to Firmino. Ua Harvey. Knack. Here is Blinkilda. Plays it inside. Miedemar. Opens up the space for a shot. Let's fly. It's blocked wide, and that is a Manchester City corner.
Viviana Miedemar is picking up all of the ball in all the space at the moment at Goodison Park. Again, really good football, and they pick her out. She's finding the pockets really nicely. No one's picking her up.
Yeah,
she's just in between the two Everton lines, and that she's always free for City every time. And again, picks up the ball nicely, gets a shot away. Good block from Mace, but Miedemar is looking very lively. She's just popping up absolutely everywhere.
And Ua Harvey over this. Puts it in towards the near post. Not a great delivery. Miedemar will try and keep this alive now for City. Does so. Ua Harvey. Back in the box. Towards the back post. Headed away well by Gargo. Now Payne. Bit of a mess. We'll drop in there for sure. Now it's Knack, and that's blocked. There's an offside flag on Khadija Shaw, but it's been all City in the opening 4 minutes here. 92% possession, and they probably should have scored.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I think if this carries on, Everton are going to be in for a very, very long afternoon.
Now, Marcus Alvarez onto the straight as Jane Rogers slowly and silently showing she's going to be a world-class defender for Man City and Canada. I think she showed signs. Yeah, there's definitely been shaky moments as well. She's definitely a player still needs to develop at this level. But yeah, no, I think there's definitely been signs of real quality there.
Yeah, I think as well, it's the potential. We know how good she can be. Again, as you say, there have been moments where you can tell she's adjusting to the league and has had a couple of errors, but has also had some really good games.
From Kasper into Miedemar, down into the channel. And that will be another corner for City as it's knocked out of play.
Again, it's Miedemar peeling off, finding the space.
Yeah. Miedemar plays it into the penalty area, rolls it into the box. Hasn't worked out though. And now Everton will look to come the other way. Vignola playing it in behind, looking for Payne. And she almost gets there to Kasper. Good job from Kirsten Kasper to deal with it. Here's Bene. Rose. Now Knack. Firmino. Knack. Back across to Jade Rose. Looks to open up the pitch here with a forward ball. Pacheco. Now to Ramsey. We'll drop for Kasper. Just one-way traffic so far. City applying pressure. Everton sustaining it. Miedemar. And that pass is blocked by Blinkilda. Accidentally. Gargo battles for possession. And now Everton could break. Options to her left and to her right. She fixed none of them. And she's dispossessed by Ioba Firmino. And then commits a foul. Got it better there from Gargo.
Yeah.
Just didn't make a decision. Ended up running into traffic.
Everton are going to have very limited time on the ball today. So when they have got it, they've got to make use of it. Got to make it count. Because if not, if they waste it, they're just gonna give it straight back to City, and it's gonna be more and more pressure. And again, it's this left hand side for Everton every time that has been caught out. And
that's poor from Hayashi. Ball in from Kasperai, and that's not a great delivery. But again, a bit of a let off there for Everton. Just haven't done anything yet with the ball. That's so poor from Hayashi. And Kasperai, you would have expected a better delivery than that.
Yeah, Khadija Shaw waiting in the middle. And usually, if you manage to hang it somewhere in the penalty area, she will find a way to get her head to it.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, Ramsey, that's a really poor pass. Kicks it off. Everton are all over the place.
Yeah.
They just can't string a pass together. And again, it's more warning signs. They can't. They've tried all season to play out of the back, and it is just not working. They haven't got the players to do it, and they're just gifting the ball to Manchester City.
Yeah, so it's a tough watch for Everton at the moment because they look lost out there. It looks like 11 players who don't understand the game plan, who can't fulfil the expectations.
But also they turn up in every game and just shoot themselves in the foot immediately, it feels like. Yeah. And then suddenly they're out of it.
Blinkilda. Kasperai. Lifts it in the box, looking for Miedemar, brings it down well. Can't quite turn it into a goal scoring opportunity, and now Vignola will try and break away. Knocks it forwards. Gargo in the foot race with Rose. And Rose does brilliantly there to see off the physical battle and win the ball back. Because that really should have been a chance for Everton to break away. Kasperai.
Well defended from one end to the other. What a ball that was in from Kasperai a few moments ago. Miedemar somehow didn't manage to get a shot away. But Everton spring it quickly forwards, get up the other end. And yeah, Rose really well defended to deny Gargo getting on the end of it. Because if she had, then she would have been away with only Yamashita to beat.
How secure do you think Brian Sorensen's job is right now? Do you think there will be a concern over the way they've played, despite the fact the points are there to a certain extent? They are on 5 points. They would be, well, they're currently on 6 for now. Do you think there is a concern about the way they're playing, or do you think that the Everton board, despite the investment, despite the real push this season to kick on as a club, do you think that they will be understanding of the situation they're in?
I think it's a really difficult situation because I agree, the situation they are currently in is not where they want to be, and that will need to be reviewed. But I think they'll definitely take into consideration how good Brian Sorensen was last year, how he got this team to tick, how well he played. We praised him massively for the work he was doing because they went on that brilliant run at the start, from January 2025. They were absolutely brilliant. They looked like they were an absolute machine. And that was, massive credit to Brian Sorensen for that. But as you say, at the moment, it's not looking too good. They look miles away from that team we saw last season.
I just hates autumn.
Maybe.
He's going to be great in January. They'll come back in the new year.
They'll have another window. They'll buy another 7 players. They'll come back and they'll get into the top half.
When they sign Gelly Cargo. It's Vagino. Back to Neck.
I think it's also a case of those signings not playing as well as they have. Obviously, as we say, Gargo has only just started hitting the back of the net again. Martina Fernandez looks like a completely different player.
Well, probably because she's not playing centre-back.
True. Why is Ruby Mace playing right centre-half?
I don't know. They signed Ruby Mace and they just didn't bother with a right-back. They've got Karen Holmgaard, though, but I don't know what she did to upset Brian Sorensen. I don't think, none of the signings. Vignola's been fine. I mean, it was a fantastic debut, wasn't it? But, scoring a hat-trick against Liverpool doesn't really matter what you do for the rest of the season. But I think it has been a little quiet since then. And Ishikawa hasn't adapted to the league particularly well. Is it just too much change at once? This whole backline was signed this summer. Yeah. Here's Bene. Wants to take on Pacheco. Ball into the box. Chance for Shaw. Really good reaction there from Emily Ramsey. You look at Sarah Holmgaard, I think, is such a huge staple of this side. She's not there now. Holmgaard hasn't really played this season as much as you would have expected her to. Just trying to think who else was there last season. Justine Van Havermet. Are we underestimating
maybe
how much of an impact she had in terms of being that presence in this side?
Potentially. Again, I don't think she looked too good for Palace this season, which is interesting.
No,
but...
no. I mean, I don't think she was ever the best player, but I just think in terms of having, that leadership quality, I couldn't even tell you who the Everton captain is now. They don't look like they've got one out there.
It's Claire Wheeler at the moment, isn't it? But again, she was a player that barely featured last season.
Yeah, and a player who I would have looked at and have expected to have gone in the summer.
Yeah, I think team selection, it's one of those things where if you just put everyone back in their normal positions, they'd play 5 times better.
Yeah, it feels like watching Villa Harm.
Yeah.
Ball into the box, and that is headed away.
Why is he actually now a left winger?
Yeah.
Who decided that?
Swung in again, and that is into...
Because based on the players they've got, I would, in terms of where we know they usually play, I would sit there and go, right, you've got a pivot of Hayashi and Ruby Mace. That's a very, very good pivot. With players like Van Gaal and that and Co as backups. But instead I'm watching Mace play centre half, I'm watching Hayashi play on the left wing.
I think there's a lot of things like, Hayley Ladd was so important for them last season, came in, added that sort of steel and leadership, and she hasn't started yet this season. I don't think she started a game.
Yeah.
Pacheco, was she a great choice as a new signing at left back?
She's very offensive.
You got rid of Sarah Holmgard and you bring in Kitagawa, who's never played in the league before, and Pacheco, who has played in the league. But if Everton didn't want her, why? Yeah, that's a question you've got to ask. Oh, sorry, if they don't want her anymore, why? Here come Everton, and it's now Mas Pacheco on the left-hand side, looking for support. Now Hayashi. Wheeler. Hayashi. Good hold up from Vignola. She take on Blanquilda Brown. It's seen out well. Chelsea says, I'm prepared to give them time to work together. Absolutely. I mean, I think there's some really talented players they brought in, but I think there's so many players brought in at once with tactics that I don't think are excellent in terms. I don't think they're working at all. It's just a lot of change all at once. Sure, Blanquilda. Sure again. Now Miedemar.
Brilliant.
Virginia has options to her left and right, lays it to the left-hand side. Ua Harvey clips it towards the back post. Not able to meet Shaw on this occasion. Now Bene. How she forces her back. Kasparai lifts it into the area. Playing well by Emily Ramsey.
City are lacking shots at the moment. That's the one thing they've had. They're getting crosses into penalty area. They're putting Everton under pressure, but they're not really pulling the trigger.
Yeah, 4 shots so far, 1 on target, 1 big chance created, and that was miss.
I see that was a sure one, wasn't it, early on?
I would assume so. They're not counting that one as a shot at the moment, I don't think. So, but I think it is. I think it's just not showing up on the graph.
Yeah.
Ball sent forwards. Payne. Fernandez. Back to Payne, who can dart down the right-hand side. Options in the box. She can pick them out, and she slipped over on the Goodison Park turf. Still alive here for Everton, though. Fernandez. Whips it in there. That is a poor delivery. And Everton have got to do better there. Both players.
Yeah.
Payne and Fernandez. You're not going to get loads of chance against Man City to run into the penalty area unopposed. And as soon as you scratch someone, you slip over the pitch.
Make a meal of it, and Fernandez again, she's not a right back, so when she tries to cross the ball in, it goes terribly wrong. I'd love to talk to Brian Sorensen and just ask why he's playing everyone out of position. Like, what is the idea behind that?
Because I think the issue is tactical. He's obsessed with playing out from the back, despite having a squad built to play direct football. Yeah, definitely that is a contributing factor as well. Sure, they're trying to throw that in behind for Virginia. I think it would have been offside. Regardless, didn't find its way.
Yeah, they would pick up so many more points if he just wrote one thing on the tactics board, and that was smash the ball up with Kelly Gargo. It wouldn't be pretty, but they'd score a lot more goals, and they'd get earn a lot more points. Because half the goals they conceded this season have probably been errors playing out the back. I mean, look at the Tottenham game they lost here at Goodison Park, for example. Lost that 2-0, and that was just a catalogue of errors.
Ishikawa. Vignola. Pass inside to Gargo. Good hold up. God, just played through there to Vignola. Instead, she goes across as a sideways pass. Here's Wheeler. Now Hayashi. Tries to find Vignola. I think it took a nick off the ref there. So it will be Everton, drop ball. Shell says, lads, can you tell me what the tune was on your countdown, please? It is called Faking Haters by Dijkstra or something like that.
I don't. Yes, definitely Faking Haters.
Yeah. You can find it on Spotify. Shot from range there from Tony Payne. Not going to trouble Yamashita in the City goal. Yeah, it's called Faking Haters. We've had it on the channel for years now. We've had that. We've had Move. Crashing Down is our Champions League song. Yeah. They're just random copyright-free music.
Yeah, good songs.
It's ruined my Spotify Wrapped because we stream so much. They are all at the top of my most listened to. And because I'm not like one of those people who just listen to one artist. I have an eclectic mix and nothing else gets anywhere near it. Van Gould. Wheeler. Dispossessed. That's one back well by Hayashi. It's interesting. So it's more of a midfield 3 today for Everton. But I'm confused by a lot of the players' positionings. Both the fullbacks are super high, which is a weird thing to do with Martina Fernandez.
What on earth are the centre-half meant to do in this situation?
Go long.
For example,
where everyone else is.
For people who aren't watching the game, there was on the camera there, the only 3 Everton players you could see were the 2 centre-halves and the pivot player.
It's the 2 pivot, yeah.
You couldn't see the fullbacks at all. They're gone.
Great drive forwards here. Comes inside with danger. Looked to be fouled. Goes on regardless and gets a shot away, but it wasn't perfect. And Vignola's not happy because that was a foul, but she played on.
Absolute credit to her for playing on because she should go down.
Yeah.
It's an invaluable from the back of the net there. I think
you could argue it's a yellow for sure as well.
She should take the free kick there.
Harvey into Fagino. Man, that is too aggressive from Fernandez, and Fagino reacts with a push. Referee does go and give her a stern talking to.
Yeah, Fernandez was not letting her get round that corner. Just held her all the way, going absolutely nowhere. Yeah, Fagino wasn't very appreciative of that. Understandably so.
Caspry. Benet. Nice pass inside into Blinkilder.
Despite all the problems and criticism we've had of Everton so far, they are still level after 20 minutes in this game.
City've just stopped trying to score since the 5th minute.
They
had a shot. They had a shot in the 12th minute for Khadija Shaw. That was blocked. Since then, not really done anything. And Everton have started to come forwards and really threaten us. The Tony Payne one, where she should have done better than slip over. Tony Payne had another shot as well moments after. Vignola's just come forwards and had a shot. So far, they've ridden their luck defensively and they're actually looking quite dangerous coming forwards. And I don't think City are perfect at the back. They are dangerous coming forwards, especially when Everton are pretty poor playing out from the back. That was a messy exchange, but it's now Everton coming forwards. Hayashi. Playing it in behind, looking for Payne. Yamashita's miles up her line there, but it's to great effect. Harvey. Fagino. Now Knack. Rose. Hasegawa. Plays it into Benet. Plays it in behind to Viviana Miedema. With just the keeper to beat, and she slots it past her, and City lead. Everton 0, Manchester City 1. Way too easy there. A pass through the middle of that Everton team. And Manchester City take the lead. Viviana Miedema delays the shot. Takes it around Ramsey by the end. And slots it past her with ease. And Man City go top of the league.
Exactly what we expected. Viviana Miedema was always going to be the one. She's been brilliant so far to date. And again, times this run beautifully. Really good strength to hold off Mace. And slots it past Ramsey. Superb. Looked really bright today, Miedema. But what a pass from Iman Benet. Absolutely brilliant once again. The youngster has been a incredible boost to that Man City front line. And again, what a pass that is. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Through the lines and puts Miedemar through on goal. He does the business. Brilliant from City. They've done well there to get that done. Because, as you say, Everton were coming back at them, but a big goal.
And we learn nothing new there. Ruben Mace isn't a centre-back, and Viviano Miedemar, he's a striker.
Yeah.
Look at the movement. Look at the poise. Look at the finish. Lovely stuff from Manchester City as they take the lead. Ishikawa plays it in behind, looking for the run of Kelly Gargo. And that won't. She can't quite keep it in touch.
And again, this is now where the bigger tests for Everton come. Because where do they go from here? Are they just going to sit there and get slapped in the face? Or are they going to fight back and, dig in?
Ishikawa. Gargo with the nod on. Cleared forwards by Rose. Now headed down to Vignola. Miedemar. One back well. Now Mace. Ishikawa. Hayashi. Around the corner into Mace. Yes, again looking for a forward option.
He's got no one to pass it to.
Ramsey. Mason Ramsey exchange again. Here's Ishikawa. Gargo. Ishikawa. It's just too much distance between players. Yeah. The problem is, I spoke about how Chelsea did it earlier in the season when they were able to have a lot of the ball deep in the pitch, possess a lot of the ball deep in the pitch, and then invite City on to press them. But Everton can't do that because there's no one deep in the pitch.
Yeah.
Apart from Ishikawa, and Wheeler's just been dispossessed too easy there by blinking around. He will dart inside. Well, one back well by Wheeler. And now there is space to drive into. When you turn the ball over against City, there is space. They've got to use it. Great drive from Wheeler. Now Gargo needs support. Back down the line. Tony Payne will try and get there and does, but can't keep it in touch.
Yeah, it's when Everton look most dangerous, is when they turn it over and run at City. But as you say, they're Everton trying to play out, and Gargo's dropping as the third or fourth deepest player there. Why would you do that? Just drop your fullbacks a bit. They're not even in shot. When we're watching the Everton centre halves on the ball, the fullbacks aren't even in the picture. Just way too high, way too aggressive. You're playing Manchester. It's way too aggressive against anyone in this division, you feel, but you're playing Manchester City of all teams. Why would you play that aggressive?
Miedemar. Great turn. Now Kasperai. Rose. Pull out to the left-hand side. Uahabi. Pagino. Miedemar. Looking to go in behind. One back well by Ishikawa. Now Wheeler. Mace. Wheeler. Now Ishikawa. Pass around the corner from Hayashi. Wheeler. Vignola. Plays it in behind, looking for Payne, who will get there. And Yamashita tries to poke it around her, but pokes it too far wide. I think she's just got to shoot there.
Yeah, much better.
Poke it on target.
Much better from Everton. They've moved it so nicely. Great ball from Vignola. And I'm not really sure why Payne's trying to poke it that hard.
She means not to poke it that hard.
Yeah. I think she was really hoping for the foul as well, potentially. And that would have seen Yamashita shown the red card. But yeah, just didn't quite got there first. And Yamashita did well to duck out of it.
Kasperai. Now Rose. Plays it into Miedemar. And now Gargo. Hayashi. Down the line towards Kelly Gargo. Out of play though. And that is a Everton throw. Did take a nick there off a City defender on its way through. So it's now Pacheco. Hayashi. Pacheco. Gargo. Great hold up from Kelly Gargo. Mace puts it in the box. And that is out for an Everton corner. Took a nick there off Rebecca Knack. What I will say, the reason that I doubt City's title credentials, the only reason I doubt City's title credentials, because I think they're brilliant coming forward. I think their build-up's fairly decent. I think their midfield and their progression looks really good. They've got good creativity. I'm not 100% on their defence still. I think structurally it's not I think they've got some very good defenders. I think once you've got Greenwood and Knack there, you've got a really strong partnership. I still think Pryor and Rose are very young, but still good defenders. Ball into the box. Gargo heads on target. Brilliant save from Yamashita. Pacheco. Now Hayashi. Takes aim. Blocked again. Or apparently not.
What a save by Yamashita.
That is a fantastic stop to deny Gargo. I mean, this, I guess, is an example of it. The lack of organisation there. How is Kelly Gargo the player left alone in the penalty area?
Yeah.
She'd be the only player I put anyone on.
Yeah.
Let the rest of them run around. Just don't let Gargo have a shot.
Someone's got to pick her up. But yeah, I think it's all organisation, and even this, they're 1-0 up here. 20 minutes played against not an Everton side that isn't very good, but Everton have had their opportunities.
They keep coming forwards, and they do look threatening, Everton.
Mm.
You know, I just think there's been a few games this season where City haven't been in full control.
Yeah.
You know, I think that, you know, they've done very well. They deserve to be top of the league. I'm not doubting that at all. But I think, you know, you look at that Arsenal game, it was very transitional. Different day, maybe Arsenal nicked that.
Mm.
You look at, you know, the Chelsea game, they got undone in that one by Chelsea. Look at the Liverpool game. I think they're very fortunate to hold on to the victory there.
Yeah, that was difficult. They did make that very difficult. Yeah, it's been...
Next Saturday will be a big test, because if they win that, then the crucial thing they've done that Chelsea haven't done is beat Arsenal United.
Yeah.
And ultimately, while Chelsea are unbeaten so far this season, City's only loss was against the Blues. But it feels very much like it was, I can't remember what year it was. Season before last, when City and Chelsea went really tight right at the end of the season. And the only reason City threw that way is because right at the end they lost to Arsenal. And they shouldn't have. And the reason they were in the position that they were was because they hadn't had games where they didn't mess up. The only games they threw points away in was, I believe, they drew and beat Chelsea, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think they lost both games to Arsenal, though.
Yeah.
In that season. And then both Chelsea and City had a mess up against different teams. I think City's was Everton that season. Or something like that. But yeah. So they've got to be consistent. And you went to the stream asking who scored. It was Viviana Miedema. Lovely move from Man City. Too easy. From Everton, just allow a pass straight through the middle of their pitch. Casper.
Yeah, great pass by Bene, who again has looked very sharp today, very dangerous, causing all sorts of problems. And she's been brilliant for Man City this season since she joined. I think a lot. Also, we didn't really know what role she was going to play in, depending on what system Jeglertz was going to use. But yeah, absolutely brilliant, Bene. She just has hit the ground running. I think it's the way she's adapted to the league so quickly that has been very, very impressive.
I think it's interesting because the Euros, obviously, we saw her quality, but I thought she looked pretty raw. And she was playing a bit of an interesting role in that tournament, of course, playing as a right wing back in that Switzerland system. So that obviously had an impact, but she looked a lot more polished, a lot more refined in this City side. I think she's developed massively, even in the space of just a few short months. Don't get me wrong, obviously there's still raw aspects to her game. She's been bullied off the ball there by Vignola, as is customary when we praise a player. They immediately give the ball away. Here's Vignola coming forward for Everton. Flanked either side by Everton teammates. Here's Pacheco now on the overlap. Hayashi. Wheeler. Pacheco again. Puts it in there. Man, it's headed away. It's going to drop now for Mace. This is in a position where Mace being the centre-back is great. Because on the edge of the box is exactly the kind of player you want to keep possession. But now, as they get forced backwards, it's perhaps not. Wheeler. Dispossessed again, Claire Wheeler. Miedemar now out to the right-hand side. Bene with space to drive into. And the will to break into the box. But it's blocked well by Wheeler, who will now carry the ball forwards for Everton. Knocked down the line. And that will be City's possession.
Yeah, a bit aimless that from Wheeler. Just looking to get the ball out rather than trying to find anybody.
Yeah.
But I said, well, once the goal went in, what are Everton now going to do? Are they going to sit there and get beat, or are they going to dig in and make a game of this? And to be fair to them, they have sat in a little bit, shored up, and put up a good fight.
So what I'm saying, by the way, last season, before last season, Man City, these two times met 19 times, and City won all of them, at least by foot mob. Obviously, that they don't go back all the way through women's history. That's only since it's been on foot mob. But the interesting thing is that there's only two results that are positive for Everton: a win and a draw. They both came last season. The win early in the campaign and the draw in April.
Wow, so they haven't
good recent record.
Yeah,
could they turn it around here? Here come Everton, blinking around, not happy. So giving us Everton free kick, they had the possession. They were driving forwards. Odd call from the referee. I think Everton would have more of a right to be aggrieved by that than City do.
Yeah.
And now, BBC gets to hear from Andre Jeglertz, who I'm sure is delighted to be doing an interview 33 minutes into the game.
But he's not even getting an interview. You just put a headset on and they're giving him.
Also, love we can watch the football. Here we go. Ishikawa.
Also, if you're Brian Sorensen, you're listening. You want to listen into that.
You're asking questions.
Yeah.
Pacheco. Looks left. Gives it to Gargo. Now drives inside with purpose. Kelly Gargo goes back out one there. And knocks it out of play. It's an Everton corner. And this will be something. Oh. Good fun. This will be something that they'll look to threaten from again. Everton, we saw the last corner. Kelly Gargo. Headed on target. Saved wonderfully by Ayaka Yamashita. Can Everton offer a similar level of threat now? Mace. Into the box. That bounces all the way through. Now here's Virginia. Back to Harvey. Knack. Yamashita. A solid start to the train since who scored. It was still Viviana Miedemar. Rose. Into Kasparai, who is inverting. I mean, that's something new. Jeglertz looking to implement more positional rotations, potentially.
Maybe.
I'm a fan. Bill Harvey.
Maybe the BBC
now for Gino. They will never ask a question that complicated. I've never seen they've got to be fair, they've brought in some decent writers now. There's not many that are doing much tactical work in the WSL, but I mean that before last year they didn't have many that are doing tactical work at all in football. So it's getting better, but no, BBC's not going to ask about how many positional rotations. Or is he thinking about positional rotations? Virgino, Bennett, Sigawa, Rose. Lovely flip from Kasparai, doesn't quite come off, and Everton will look to break. Vignola out to the right hand side if Payne can get there. She should keep this in touch. Here come Everton. Got to look up when she dribbles. Tony Payne. And she slips over again.
Get some new shoes.
Now Vignola takes aim. That's a wild volley and it goes over. But you see it every time she drives forward. She looks at the ball.
Yeah.
She's not looking up. She's not looking at where the options are. She's looking down. And it's no wonder then.
Again.
Yeah, it's clumsy.
Yeah. Like, I know Pittle might be wondering, like, it's not her fault she's fallen over, but at this level, you can't afford to keep giving the ball away because you keep slipping over. You know, you've got to make sure you've got the proper boots on.
Now here comes Fagino. This is a quick move from Man City. Options around her. Lays it into Shaw in the box. Still Khadija Shaw cuts it back. But only Claire Wheeler lies in wait. And she clears it. Knack reacts well. Heads it forwards. Out now for a throw. So Everton now throwing on the far side. And it's Fernandez. Looking for Gargo. Ashigawa though with an important touch. Gives it to Kasparov. Rose. Now Knack. Back across to Rose. And again, she'll survey her forward options. Lifts it in behind. Miedemar. Now Kasparov into the box. Headed away. That's a good header from Mace. Not sure it's exactly what she intended to do, but it did the job.
It's the same ball every time that unlocks Everton. So it's the lofted ball into the run of Miedemar in between the left back and the left centre half.
It's also the same ball that they highlighted before the game.
Yes.
It's the same ball that's been causing the problems all year.
And yeah, Everton will just keep watching it happen.
Pacheco gets caught high and wide, and Ishikawa can't defend that wide space well enough.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Nice. Yeah, and then the ball usually gets cut back, and Khadija Shaw, the striker, should out-jump the right centre half Ruby Mace, who's a defensive midfielder.
Oh, yeah. And if not, it falls to the back post where Fagino, a world-class winger, is taking on a centre-back in a wide area again.
Yeah. It's the same
Everton
problem.
have built a system which makes sure that they've got centre-backs defending wide areas rather than the box, a defence midfielder defending the box, a full-back defending no one. It's bizarre. Ishikawa. Again, she'll look at her forward options, passes it across to Mace. Now looks to go in behind, and Payne's in now. And it's a 2-on-2 for Everton. She can find Gargo in the box. Plays it across. Gargo, what a finish from Kelly Gargo. Tidy touch from Gargo around the corner, and Everton equalise. Such a quick move in behind. Payne stays on her feet this time. Slashes it across the box, and Kelly Gargo with the giftest of touches. And it's Everton 1, Manchester City 1.
From absolutely nothing, Everton, it's brilliant on the breakaway, and we said it in the build-up. If you get a Kelly Gargo in a position to score, if you give her the ball where she can do something with it, she will take that chance. This is absolutely brilliant. Payne does well. It's a great run, and the ball in is brilliant. But Kelly Gargo, it's inventive. It's brilliant. The back heel into the far corner is just sublime. That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal from Gargo.
Do you know what that reminded me of? Chelsea's goal on the opening day of the season. It's exactly the same way that City have been undone. Knack misjudges it, similar to how Greenwood misjudged it. The difference is that was more in the foot race where Greenwood couldn't catch up there. Knack was not even in the foot race. She completely misjudged the flight of that ball. Plays it across the box. Jade Rose not strong enough at that near post. Doesn't track the runner. Kasparov goes with Gargo, but doesn't really do enough to offset her. And Kelly Gargo, well, it wasn't as easy as Beaver Jones's strike was on that day, but it was much more enjoyable, much more satisfying a finish.
And for all the problems that Everton have had this season and in the first 41 minutes, they are level in this match. It is game on.
It's going to be the catalyst for success like it was last season.
Maybe.
They beat City and then they just go on and do well from there. Chelsea United saying, come on, what a goal. Phil says that's exactly what the Everton side should be. Fast, direct and effective. Completely agree. Good hold up from Gargo. Tries to play Hayashi.
God,
Hayashi's not on the same wavelength there.
such a good player.
Shao says, why can't City keep clean sheets? Because they are I mean, their defence is structured well enough. I spoke about this a moment ago when I said the only thing I think that the only thing that... What was I trying to say? That rules them out of title or dampens their chance of winning the title this year is their defence. It's not solid enough. I think that... I know obviously they don't have their full strength centre-back partnership and that doesn't help, but I think they're structurally too open. There's too much space and it's too easy to transition on them.
Mm.
That's why they've conceded in, I think, all but one game this season. Yeah. The only team that did not score against them was West Ham. Which, shock. Kasparai, Bene. And that's one back well. That was last weekend. Pacheco tries to play it inside, one back by Hasegawa. And even then, I think, West Ham had chances. Miedema. It's Shaw. Not a great touch that from Van Gaal. I mean, we've still got a long way to go in this game. Harvey coming down the left-hand side, ball in. Viviana Miedema now. Lays off to Kasparai. It's the same effort, and that is not troubling anyone. Well, there's not way to go in this game, but it's the most WSL thing ever for Chelsea to drop points to Arsenal. And we looked after that game and went, there's two teams this weekend who, if they win, they'll go ahead of Chelsea. Now that creates an interesting title race. And United lost yesterday, and City at the moment are drawing, which would see them, say, second in the league, a point behind Chelsea, with United to face on Saturday. That, to me, just feels like the most WSL thing ever.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly what the league happens. It happened. I think it happened last year at one point as well when Chelsea drew to... Was the weekend Chelsea drew Leicester, but a couple of other sides got points. And
either that one or the Brighton draw.
And it's just like every time Chelsea slip up, all the other teams in the title race just shoot themselves in the foot and go, oh no, we can't possibly catch them.
Tony Payne. Now Pacheco. Payne. Hayashi. Now Wheeler. Knocks it down the line into Payne. And that's firm from Rose, but on the right side of the law.
What an end to this first half for Everton. They had a couple flurries forward, but then City really didn't. They weren't pushing, but they settled on the ball. But now, Everton, that's just a brilliant goal. And I take the momentum from that. And the City need to regroup and need to get going again.
Yeah.
They haven't played very well, Man City, today. Has to be said. They really haven't fired on all cylinders. I don't think Shaw's been involved enough. Gino's been quite quiet as well. For a player that's got 4 goal contributions in her 6 appearances this season in the league, has been quite quiet today. Again, the pivot hasn't been ticking the way you expected it to for Man City.
And here come Everton, Ishikawa. Back now to Hayashi. Mace. Out to the right-hand side. Ball down the line. Cut out well. Not great that from Harvey. Not sure she needed to kick that out of play. I don't think she meant to either. Martina Fernandez. Now Mace. Waiting for options, Ruby Mace. Ishikawa. 3 minutes of additional time. It took a while for us to find out. So long, there's only 2 of them left. Ramsey out to the right-hand side. And there's an offside flag there. Raised. Tony Payne coming onto the ball from an offside position. She's a bit bemused by that decision.
Say, if she was offside, she's come a long way to get to that football.
Travelled some distance.
Yeah.
Ball out to the left-hand side. Harvey into Miedema. Tries to put it into the box. Lovely fake. Now puts it in the box. Go! Oh! Khadija Shaw. I'm not sure words how that's not in.
Wow.
Miedema's brilliant on the left-hand side. Working an opportunity. And Shaw at point-blank range with all the goal to aim for. Heads it over.
There was a lot of pace on it from Miedema. Was my only defence.
Yeah.
But for a player of Shaw's quality, she's gone for the diving header and just got under it and headed it over. Empty goal for Ainfort. Ramsey stuck at her near post. What a chance to put City back in front. Would not expect to see that from Shaw.
Now Vignola. That's well cut out by Kirsty and Kasparov. Shouters, was it a sitter? Yeah, I'd say so. Definitely. I reckon it's gone down as a statistical big chance.
Oh, definitely. Ramsey was nowhere to be seen.
Will do. I'm going to get to it.
Should have hit the target.
And it has. Yeah, that had to go in. Cargo. Great hold up. Now Pacheco. Wriggle herself. Bit of room. I'm back by Bene out for an Everton throw. And I might just see in this half now.
I do not think they'll be complaining at 1-1.
No. Pacheco. Mace. Can't hold on to the ball. And that is the half-time whistle. Everton 1, Manchester City 1. City, they started fast, but it took them 20 minutes to find the first goal as they were able to slip Miedema in behind, who slotted it past Emily Ramsey. But Everton responding on 40 minutes, a incisive breakaway down the right-hand side, and Gargo does so well just to flick it past the goalkeeper, and Everton level at the break. Sorensen not happy though entirely with what he's seen there, engaging in a little bit of an animated discussion with Martina Fernandez about her role in that first half. But overall, Everton probably the happier side after 45 minutes.
They'll be very happy. The performance hasn't particularly been there, but they took advantage and they hit City on the break. And really well worked goal. Brilliance from Payne down the right-hand side. And then Gargo, the finish was just absolutely sublime. So, a very, very well taken goal, but a first half that, again, we are seeing the same problems, the same issues arising for Everton that we've seen in the last few weeks. The tactical issues with the personnel selection problems. So it's definitely something they've got to watch out for. But Man City really not been at the races. More shots, but less shots on target. Haven't been as clinical in front of goal again. Need to start putting those chances in the back of the net. But it's still not over, of course. Long way to go in this game, but it's not the situation that Man City want to find themselves in. 1-0 up, they thought happy days. But
yeah, it's one of those. It's classic sort of big team has lots of shots. They've had a lot of the ball. They've had a lot of shots. But are they creating chances that are very high quality? I think outside of the goal and the Shaw header there, everything else was just sort of a fairly aimless effort. You know, a lot of shots from outside the box, a lot of shots from low XG opportunities, from quite wide of the mark. They're not really creating lots of big chances in the penalty area. And while Everton haven't really had loads of shots, their XG is 0.68 to Man City's 1.1. But again, you take the goal out, you take out the Shaw shot right at the end of the half, then they haven't done anything else. And they were there, they only had 2 shots on target. That was one of them. And obviously, there was the tame effort from Kasparov as well, which I think you can barely count as a shot. But yeah, the early one as well from Khadija Shaw.
Shaw should have scored by now, 100%.
Oh, yeah, but it's an interesting one, isn't it, Khadija Shaw? Not been firing in recent weeks. She hasn't scored since the Arsenal game.
It's interesting.
She's only on. I know it's 4th of the season. It's not tragic, but we can see that 2 of them came against London City. It doesn't make for brilliant reading.
Yeah, it's one of those for sure where, again, it's because of the standard that she's already set. We are very accustomed to seeing Khadija Shaw put in a goal a game, or on average a goal a game, or we've even seen her smash that. We've seen her score 26, was it, at one point, either 22 games, which is absurd. So the fact she's only scored, as it stands, she's only scored 4 in 8, That's pretty
But
low.
it is an interesting question to ask. Why isn't she scoring as many? And I think, part of it is down to the system and how they are playing. I think part of it's down to her. I mean, yeah, you look at her previous seasons. First season, 16 goals in all comps. Second season, 31 goals in all comps. 23-24, they almost won the title that year. 22 goals in all comps. Last season, only 19, but obviously missed a large part of the season. 10 games less than in some of the previous campaigns. This season, 4 goals doesn't look too bad, but I think it's more about the performances and the chances she's taking.
Yeah.
She scored, so far this season, she scored 4 goals. On paper, that looks all right. 2 were penalties in the London City game. That, that's London City for you. And then, she scored against Arsenal the other week, and that was a that was a well-taken goal and, a show of her quality. But I don't think she's been the Khadija Shaw of old. I don't think they are. Usually that City are in the title race because of Shaw, whereas it feels this season they are in the title race in spite of Shaw, and that's not because she's had no involvement, but because her involvement isn't quite as crucial. And to an extent, it's not bad that City aren't reliant on Shaw anymore. But what they needed to do was have it where they maintain Shaw's output while also adding goals from elsewhere. And then, games are more comfortable. If you've got a Khadija Shaw goal every game and then players are adding on top of that, that's a really strong performance. But it feels like the chances are going for other players rather than Khadija Shaw. But Shaw has still had opportunities. Yeah. And, I think to an extent she is underperforming. 6.37 expected goals coming into this game, only 4 goals. I think she should be doing better there.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where it feels as if she's lost her sense of invincibility. It used to be that Khadija Shaw starts for Man City and she is unstoppable. If you get Shaw on a bad day, you just cannot stop her. I mean, think back to the Liverpool game against Anfield last season when, again, Liverpool took the lead in that one, thought they were going to win it, and then Khadija Shaw decided that she wanted to win the football match, and the way that she took both of her goals was unstoppable. You just couldn't. She just bullied the defenders past on and smashed the ball into the back of the net, and that's what we're seeing with Shaw, to the point where you just cannot stop her. You have to accept the fact that she is a phenomenal player. She's the best striker in the world, and you can't do anything to prevent that from happening. But I think this season, certain backlines have done very well to contain her and to keep her quiet and to stop her from getting any good opportunities. It used to be that teams could double up on her and it would make no difference. You just knock them out of the way and go score a hat-trick. But it does feel like it's become a lot more difficult for her to have as much joy as she once had in front of goal. And she is stoppable. She is human. You can stop her from scoring, which is something that we wouldn't have quite expected to see compared to what we usually get over the last couple of years.
No, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see whether it is just a patch where she's not quite as clinical as we are used to, or whether it is because the system is different. But I think the fact that she still has taken the most shots of any player in the league this season, that is a ridiculous. Something like 50 shots so far this campaign. Shots on target though are significantly lower, and that will be a concern. The fact that she isn't hitting the target as much as she is shooting, and obviously. You would expect the shots to be higher than shots on target, but I think to an extent you would want Shaw to be hitting the target more than she's not. And so I think there will be a bit of concern around that, but she's still a brilliant player, and if they keep creating chances for her, you would expect that she will step up and start finishing them. But I think the problem is you take away those penalties, and you look at the non-penalty. Actually, you look at the non-penalty goal scored. And that is concerning data, given you usually expect Shaw to be performing. HB says Bunny doesn't look right physically; she doesn't feel the same. I think to an extent, I definitely agree with that. I think that she doesn't ride challenges as well as she used to. I think that when that contact comes, she's more likely to let the ball spill. Whereas before, if you try and make contact funny, sure, you're just running into a wall. Yeah. Now there is more of a chance you're gonna nudge that ball off her. So I think that definitely has had an impact. I imagine. Picking up so many injuries over the sort of last few seasons is going to have a physical toll. So I think you do make a good point there, HB. That is a bit of a concern. Now he says, can't believe how poor we looked after we scored. Felt like we spent the rest of the half trying to survive. Yeah, I'd agree. I think that the quality from City after that goal wasn't really prevalent or as prevalent as it should have been. Really, I think that they definitely turned the dial down a little bit on that performance. They didn't put as much pressure on Manchester City on Everton. Sorry, as perhaps they should have. And you'd expect them to kick on from there, and they didn't. Shell says, thanks for the stream, lads. Much appreciated. Thank you for tuning in, Shell. Appreciate it a lot. Shams asks, which games are being streamed for Champions League and next week WSL? Champions League is Vålerenga versus Roma on Tuesday. And another game which I can't remember. I will find it.
Wolfsburg Leon, is it not? On Tuesday?
Yes, I'll be honest, Wolfsburg. And I'll also be watching St. Paul and Chelsea on my phone. And then, on a side screen somewhere. Then it is Bayern Arsenal on Wednesday, followed by Manchester United PSG on Wednesday as well. Saturday, Manchester's derby, stupid kickoff time of 1:30, but I will be here. Harry won't, he's off running lines. I will be here. And then on the Sunday, we've got Liverpool, Chelsea and Tottenham, Arsenal. So, a huge week of WSL action. Then we've got Champions League games the week after, and we're into internationals again. It's so annoying. I hate these 2-week international breaks because they're just so long.
Yeah, we felt it. Long. We felt it in the first one. But
also two-week international breaks that close together. It's not even the official international break. It's because the WSL makes it a double header.
Yeah, and some people like the League Cup group stage, some people won't. But I don't. I catch some bits of it, but I don't sit there and I don't treat it like a WSL game week.
No, I don't know. I mean, I think you could have it midweek though, and you still get the same effect. I guess maybe attendances are slightly higher because it's at the weekend. Maybe that helps out on the small sides, which is great if it does. But I just feel it's I don't know. I love watching WSL and it sort of kills the momentum.
Yeah, it's a long time to go without
we had those opening 6 games, and then we've come back for 3 game weeks, and then we come back again for 2 game weeks before Christmas. Yeah. It's just very stop-start. Yeah. Difficult to sort of build rhythm of the season. And as people who create content on the women's game, it's quite difficult when you have 2 weeks. All we've got to talk about is England, because we can't stream League Cup. Which
again, talking about England is fine when it's not friendlies, because I mean, it didn't help. I don't think it helped last international break that we sat there and then we had to watch 2 games where both the opposition got a red card. In fact, pointless friendlies. But it's just one of those where it's their international breaks. We have them. England got some more friendlies. Now, interesting to see who goes to them again, who will pull out and who won't play in those friendlies.
Yeah, no, it will be interesting. I think, again, I hope... This is why I like seeing young players, because I just don't care about watching the same England team play against Ghana and China, to be honest.
Did Blinker Brown go last international?
Yeah, she didn't get a minute.
Didn't get on, though.
She wasn't happy.
She's a player that I think should be on there.
Yeah.
I thought, should be giving up...
Chelsea should realistically go, Walter's got a knee injury.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Can't go out doing your duty. But even if she didn't, Wiegman should really hand opportunities.
I think Blinker has been brilliant for City this season. I think that, to be fair, I think the pivot's actually been a bit quiet today. I don't think they've ticked along, like clockwork like they usually do. I think Hasegawa and Blinkilder have struggled a bit today. Everton, because Everton are kind of bypassing it a little bit because they're giving up. They're playing out the back, but it hasn't worked. And it's like, let's get the ball to Gargo and go score a goal. Seems to be the idea. But I think it's one of those where...
To an extent, it is working because they're pulling City higher up the field, which gives them the space to run into. So, to an extent, it is working.
Yeah, that is true. I think Everton should go direct anyway. I think they should 100% be direct. Yeah. It's one of those where you look at how good Gargo is. I think that it's one of those where they should get the ball to her every single time. I don't understand why they don't. Look, they did it once. They went direct, got it to Payne, Gargo, bang, goal. They're 1-1 now. I still think it's the best way to play.
Maya says we need to step up a couple of gears in the second half. Absolutely. I think City have got a lot more to show in this second 45. Sharon says we'll be doing England-China I think we'll be doing one of the England matches and not the other one because we've got.
I think we're doing
other
Ghana.
commitments. We're either doing China or Ghana. I can't remember.
I think it's Ghana. I think because China's on the Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Ghana's on the Tuesday, so
If that is the way around, then yes.
I think we'll do Ghana. But yeah, I agree. I think City do step it up. Again, we spoke about them topping the league, being champions material. That 45 minutes wasn't worthy of a team that should be getting top of the WSL.
No, absolutely. They had the opportunity today to prove their quality, to prove their worth, and that hasn't really.
They've got to take it.
Happened yet? Yeah,
exactly. They have to take it. If they slip up today and draw, I mean, my, if Chelsea walk out this weekend still top of the league, I've run out of words for it.
Shams says Nations League final 2 legs would be good. Come on, Germany. Yeah, it's a shame we can't watch the Nations League in the UK. It's just not on anything.
Also, two-legged finals.
Yeah, that is poor.
What are we doing? Who decided that? Because I think that you basically what you do in a two-legged final is you take away any chance of an upset. Because Germany, for me, I think they could beat Spain over 90 minutes. Will they beat Spain over 180? Probably not. It's much less likely than beating them over 90.
Well, I've worked out why they've done it.
What?
Yeah, Spain.
Yeah, I think Germany could walk away from the first leg 1-0 up, but it won't matter because they'll go and lose the second leg 4-0. And that's why two-legged finals are frustrating.
Nine says, why isn't the Manchester Derby on Saturday? On the Sunday, sorry. Yeah, I don't mind what day it is. I don't like the fact it's 1:30 kick-off. I think that's a stupid kick-off time. I understand why they're doing it. The point is that the men's internationals are on, so there's no other football on. But I think more people watch it at 12 because there's no men's football on, so there's no 12 o'clock kick-off. There's no 12:30 kick-off in the men's game.
Yeah.
So you put the women's game on at 12. People who would usually watch the men's game go, oh, this looks interesting. I'm going to watch the Manchester Derby. Yeah. You put it on at 1:30, which means that loads of people will go and watch local football because there's no men's football on, professional, top 2 tiers. So no one's going to watch the women's game because there will obviously still be people watching it, but I think it's such a terrible timing for it. Yeah. Even the justification of, there's no men's football, so we're going to put it on at a more prime time. It's not a more prime time. It's the opposite.
Half one has never been a more prime time.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a football time. It's, bizarre to me, but there we go. Claire Wheeler gets back on the way for the second 45. Everton taking on Man City 1-1 at the break. Can Everton hold on? Or can Man City re-establish the lead and go top of the Women's Super League? Well, the ball in behind hasn't worked out immediately from Everton, as in the hands of Ayaka Yamashita.
I think it's vital that City turn it around. We spoke about in the build-up the difference between being chased and being the chasers, and you'd much rather be chased than at the top of a table. I think that you want to set the pace, you want to be on top. It just feels more secure being top of the league because you know that once you're top, you just have to focus on yourself. If you do your job, you win the league no matter what. When you're chasing, when you're second or third, every game you're thinking, well, we need to do our job, but we also need this and that to happen.
Miedema now on to Blinkilder. Could she take aim? Goes wider into Bene. Kasparai. Great ball. That's brilliant. Goal kicking from Ramsey. Pushes it away and out of danger. City looking to recycle it. Bene looking towards Blinkilder Brown. Wheeler gets there, knocks out of play. That'll be a City throw on the far side.
Good reactions from Ramsey to stop that from getting across because if that had gone over her head,
Fake Kirby moment.
Yeah, Kadir Shaw was lurking. I thought Blinkilder Brown should have hit it earlier on in that move. It fell to her quite nicely. She reached the edge of the area and decided to shift it out wide.
Here's Blinkilder into Hasegawa, breaks into the box. Shaw, Hasegawa. No, and that's not the delivery they were looking for. Clips it over the bar.
Again, poor from Hasegawa. Really good football between her and Shaw. They move it nicely. And this ball just needs to be drilled across the box. Instead, she tries to float it and puts it out of play. Not a good enough ball. I think Hasegawa's been a bit quiet today. Not quiet, but
By her standard,
yeah,
absolutely. Hasn't really been involved in the way you'd expect.
It's been a bizarre one.
Yeah. Ball forward from Ramsey. That's the left-hand side. And that's really well dealt with by Pacheco. Ishikawa now. Forward pass cut out by Bene. Miedemar tries to hold on to it. One back well. And now here come Everton. Lovely footwork from Vignola. Out to left-hand side. Here's Gargo. Payne lies in wait. Good ball. Yamashita quick off the line. Really good keeping.
Brilliant from Yamashita. Commits to it, gets out to it, and beats Payne to it. But another good breakaway from Everton, catching City on their heels. Not a bad ball in from Gargo. Right area. Payne had made a decent run. But Yamashita reacted really well and realised the danger early. But Everton showing they are going to put up a very, very good fight in this second half.
Yeah, good move. And again, it's the same problems to City. Just getting caught out in those wide areas, really. Defending wide areas in transition. Here is Shaw. Nice turn. Couldn't quite find the target with their effort.
Carried really well by Kasperite. Did well to bring it forward. Pings it into Shaw, who was very decisive with that one. Again, didn't think twice about it. Took a touch on the half turn. Looked to smash it in the near post. Caught it well. Just wide of the post.
Yeah.
And again, it's good decision making in terms of being decisive at it, spinning and taking it quickly, but would have done very, very well to beat Ramsey from that angle.
I don't mind that because I think that's the only way you're going to catch her out, because she's not expecting a shot there, is she?
No, she isn't.
So just fire it in from that angle, you could just catch her out, but didn't work on that occasion. Here's Ramsey. Hayashi. Pacheco. Now Hayashi. Mace. It's quite weird because I think Man City have gone from Gareth Taylor's football, which they often either won a game comfortably or just couldn't quite find the goal, to Jeglertz, where they score every game, but they're going to concede every game as well.
Yeah.
Because it's just so open. And it's just a battle of can they make sure they score more than their opponent does.
Yeah.
Whereas under Taylor, there was disappointing. There was disappointing results in there where they would slip up and maybe lose 1-0 to sides. But there were also some really where they just couldn't find a goal and it was a bit difficult to watch. There's also games where they'd cruise to a 4 or 5-0 victory.
Yeah.
Which I haven't seen that yet from Jeglertz. They had the 5-1 over or 4-1 over London City, 5-1 over Tottenham. But that was more down to the strength of the opponent. Or lack of in terms of defensive strength. Ball in behind, strong that from Ruby Mace, just a nudge off Khadija Shaw. And there's a foul there as Shaw brings it down.
Mace has done really well there. And that's what I mean about the change in Shaw. Usually she just, push 2 defenders to the floor and just go through on goal there. But no, Mace wins that physical battle. She gets across and prevents Shaw from causing any problems.
Ramsey. Across to Ishikawa. Carrying it forwards well. Now looks to play it in behind. Out to the left-hand side. It's Kelly Gargo. Trying to drive past Rose. Looking to lift it over the goalkeeper, but it's wide. It's high and wide from Gargo.
Yeah, not what she intended at all. Can't tell whether she tried to cross it in or tried to actually loop it over Yamashita. Either way, got it horribly wrong. And that one sailing into the stand behind. But Everton have started positively. Really intrigued to see how City are going to play this one out. Because obviously they want to go for it. They want to get the goal. But that's risky at this point in time because of the threat that Everton are posing.
Here is Ishikawa. Mace. Ramsey. Now Ishikawa. Back to Ramsey. And now Mace. Again, surveying our options.
Yes.
Across the left-hand side now with Ishikawa. Ramsey. Ishikawa. Pacheco. Shaw. Bene. Breaking down the right-hand side. Cuts out well by Ishikawa. And that will be a City throw-ins. They look to just ramp up the pressure.
Yeah, Hasegawa made one run there and Bene put the ball in the other place. But better from City, moving it quicker down that right-hand side.
Knack. Hasegawa. Knack. Now Rose. Into Kasparai. Rose. Plays it forward. It's cut out well by Hayashi. Blocked. Out to the throw, and then they can build up now on the left-hand side. Vignola. Can't quite bring it under her control. Miedemar. Into Fagino. Touch on, looking for Owahabi. Lifts it in the box. Khadija Shaw, and there we go. Shaw, well, we spoke at half time. She hasn't found the goals recently, but that's a classic vintage Khadija Shaw header. Lifted in the box by Owahabi and headed home by Shaw with ease. Everton 1, Manchester City 2. Tidy header from Khadija Shaw.
As if by magic, when City need her, Shaw provides really good football again. The pressure had been mounting in the last few minutes. It's a lovely ball in from Owahabi. Swings it perfectly up for Shaw, who outjumps Ishikawa. Really good header. Nothing Ramsey can do about that one. Headed past her with pace and power. Brilliance from Shaw. It's a great header. Such a good header. And that is something that you can't doubt, is her aerial ability. But City have their second and are back in the lead. Importantly, back in the lead. Great header from Shaw.
Yeah, absolutely. Important header, and that will take them top of the league as things stand. Pacheco. Wheeler. It's out now for an Everton throw-in.
Again, another test now of Everton's mettle. Can they keep going? Can they keep this game competitive and keep City under pressure?
You need to find another edge.
Yeah, they need something. Because you just feel the second half a bit flat.
Yeah, the visitors back on the ball now. City, here is Knack. Owahabi. And they'll want another now. City, they won't want to get caught up in the same issues they had in the first half, where Everton were able to get back into the game. After scoring, they look really poor. The first 10 minutes of this second half have definitely been a marked improvement. But can they keep it up? Will they go back to what happened at the end of the first half, where they weren't particularly enjoyable to watch? Kasparai. Now Rose. Kasparai. Bene. Breaking down the right-hand side, Bene dragged down by Pacheco. She couldn't have made that any more blatant if she tried. And that is a free kick. And you would expect a card, and there it is. He had a card from Pacheco.
Yeah, clumsy. Again, really good from Bene, just spins up. And from that point on, Pacheco was always struggling, grappling at the shirt, and then trips her up for good measure. Always going to be a yellow card in that position, and Pacheco has actually injured herself in the process of picking up a yellow card and taking out Bene. So a bit of a double whammy there for Pacheco.
It's unfortunate.
She's back to her feet. And City now another chance to put the ball into the Everton penalty area and put them under a bit of pressure. They'll want another goal. They get a third that probably puts this game out of sight.
And so Hasegawa over this free kick, as you say, as City look to extend their advantage. Half an hour on the clock. Hasegawa. Back post. Kasparai heads back across goal. Shaw can't quite turn this one goal as it's blocked. And Emily Ramsey claims it well, and she wants to play quickly. And she'll roll it out. Hayashi. Oh, lovely pirouette. Out now to the right-hand side with Vignola. Ball into the box. Not a great delivery as Rose gets it clear unopposed. Wheeler. Mace. Still with Mace. Now back to Ishikawa. Pacheco. Mace. Ishikawa on to Pacheco. Down the line. Not a great ball though, and Kasparov cuts it out. Here's Bene. Switching the play. Not a great ball across though. That will go out for a goal kick. So Everton get to build up again.
Yes, which is the best part of their play, as we all know. I'll be really intrigued to see when or if Sorensen sticks or twists with the way he wants to play. Because again, we're sat here and we can only see.
It looked too bad today. It's just intriguing.
Yeah.
Like, they played through City okay at times. There's not been as many mistakes from build-up.
That is true, yeah. At the start of the season, or in certain games this season, there has been a lot of just passing the ball to the opposition. And
we haven't really seen that today. It just seems to be too much distance between players. They can't actually make passes. So just sort of bounce between the centre-backs. Here comes City. Miedemar bearing it on goal. Should do better with that one.
Yeah.
Got it, the target at least.
Wrong decision. Try to go hard with pace on at the near post and probably should have looked to just pass it into the far corner, but instead blast it over the bar.
And it's a triple change for Everton. That's Katie Robinson. It's Katja Snice and it's Karen Holmgard. And a double change coming for City as well. But firstly, the Everton changes Holmgard for Fernandez. That's a like for like. This is Snice for Gargo. That is a interesting choice.
Surely not, because Gargo's your best chance of getting an equaliser.
Yes, off then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Van Gaal making way. I think that was Tony Payne as well. So, what are they doing?
I don't know.
Brilliant
I
question.
don't know.
I imagine it'll be Robinson right, but I just want Holmgard.
I have
Who's
no
playing
idea.
in midfield now? I haven't. You think if they'd left Martina Fernandez on, she'd go something about push Mace forwards, but that's not what they're doing.
Yeah. Mentioned managing minutes as well for City. Very smartly hit. Rebecca Nat coming off.
Dropped Gargo into midfield.
Potentially. Good game for Benet as well. Replaced by Hems.
No, they're just Snice into midfield.
Well, that's fun.
It's very fun. Hey, Ashley's in there as well, to be fair, actually. Wheeler. That's a brilliant bit of play from Everton just to play through City. Wheeler hold on a little bit too long. Does though find Snice, and this does work now for Everton. The path is poor though. No, Harvey gets it clear. Meanwhile, smashing it forwards. Drops now for Ishikawa. That's out for a City throw. Shaz says, don't think you should take them Payne off. That's an interesting one. Payne's been very direct today.
Yeah. He does look quite good, actually.
Robinson on the right wing, though, could give you something.
Remember Payne causing City all kinds of problems last season when Everton beat them?
Yeah. Really good in transition. They just don't play transitional football.
They've got so many players fit for transitional football.
And they just refuse to do it.
Yeah. This game
Wheeler.
is very much not done yet though. All it takes, as we saw in the first half, all it takes is one opportunity, and Everton could be right back level. It's not been convincing from City, but they're getting the job done at the moment.
Ishikawa in behind looking for Gargo. Kasparov knocks it out of play.
Again, got to be disciplined, City. Got to be well managed. Can't afford any slip-ups now. It's not a bad ball in at all. Well dealt with, though. Hasegawa does well there to get that goal. I'd say what, Hemp's actually going to win that foot race.
Breaking down the left-hand side. It's in the box for Miedemar, who can't quite fashion it into a chance.
Tell you what, that's a great ball from Hemp. Miedemar, I don't really know why she's tried to take the shot on. Should have done very well to turn this goal, to smash this goalwards.
Yeah, I could have brought it down.
Yeah. But what a ball that is from Hemp. And that's it. If she can stay fit, now she's back, that could be a huge boost for City.
Oh, Harvey. Now Pryor. Rose. Nelu Harvey. Back to Rose. And now it's Pryor. Kasparov knocks it in behind, looking for the run. Off for Gino, but she won't quite find it. So it rolls out for a goal kick.
Again, right idea from Kasparov, trying to figure out for Gino in that space that we've seen Everton be caught out in every single game this season. Couldn't quite pick it out though.
Ishikawa. Hayashi. Mace. Great ball round the corner into Katyas. Nice. Good defending out from Uahavi. Gets got some knocks down a play.
This Katie Robinson's actually playing on the wing now and not a right back.
Yeah. Take the little wins, I guess.
So that was an experiment we saw at the start of the season, which has now been, thankfully, for Everton's sake, yeah.
For now.
Yeah, maybe it's just a postponement.
It's going back. But yeah.
But I like Brian Son. I think he's a good manager. I just think he's trying to do too much and he's overcomplicating it. That's what Villaharm did. He had a good first season, had a good year, and Sorensen's now doing the same. But they've had a good year, and then try to be more complex and complicated. Well, what they've done, that's a terrible pass from Yamashita though. Gargo doesn't take.
Well recovered by just the shot. Wasn't really good enough.
No, but they've had a good year, and then tried to do something complex and more complicated in the year following, and it's all just been a complete mess because. I mean, I don't know why trying to do something tactically complex goes hand in hand with putting everybody out of position. But, we saw Villaharm do it, and it was to his own demise, and Brian Sorensen will be...
But the confusing thing is, Tottenham, at least, there was the excuse that they didn't have the deepest squad. But this Everton side, there's so many players.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it interesting.
That's the other Villaharm trait we've seen, haven't we? Is pretty much the same 11 in the majority of games, unless it's injuries.
Yeah, and continuity is important, but continuity when it's not working isn't.
Yeah, let's continue to be poor.
But you can change aspects that aren't working and keep aspects that are. Instead, it's just keep everything. Holmgard. Breaking down the right-hand side. Looking for support. I find it interesting that, we spoke about how they haven't really used Holmberg at right back, and they haven't really used an actual right back at all at right back. Vignola into the box, not a great delivery. Which whether it's actually been the left back playing left back that's been the biggest problem in that defence.
Yeah.
Alongside too many errors in build-up. And the general build-up structure looking insane. But yeah, they're just too open in transition, and the rest defence is just there isn't one.
Yeah.
Vignola, great turn, take same. Off the inside of the post. How is that not in? Robinson now. Wheeler. And unfortunately can't keep possession.
Tell you what, Everton will not get much closer than that to finding the back of the net. Brilliant effort from Vignola. Hits the inside the post and runs all the way across the goal mouth and spills out the other side. Wow. That's unlucky. She's caught it well, kept it low, put it, in fact, placed it in the corner. Yeah, just comes off the inside of the frame.
Rose.
That's the warning for City.
Yeah.
This game has not been killed off. We are only just through the halfway point of the second 45. That is the warning sign that they've got to be careful.
Blinkola. Rose. Harvey. Back now to Rose. And it's Blinkola. Rose. Back to Blinkola. Looking for her forward options. Out to the left-hand side. Put down well by Hemp, who wants to come inside now with the ball. Cross now to Blinkola. For Gino. Forced backwards. Pryor for Gino. Now Shaw. Bounced around a lot is Kasparai. Now it is Aopa for Gino. Flicked on well by Shaw. Hasegawa. Headed away. Drops now for Shaw. And it's blocked away by Mace.
Big clearance.
Bit of a mess there from Pacheco. Here is Kasparai. Nice give and go for Gino. Back now to Pryor.
I think that chance of Vignola might have just woken City up a little bit. Yeah, they've realised now that they kind of need to kill this game off with a third goal, and they might do that now. Oh, Firmino tries to play it in the meanwhile, gets it wrong.
Strike from Kasparai and it's saved.
Well, held by Ramsey. Big 20 minutes now at both ends of the table. At the moment, Everton are stuck 10th and City are top. An Everton goal would see City not be top.
Here is Kelly Gargo. Blocked by Kasparai. Gargo. Nice turn. Holds up the ball well. Kelly Gargo despite Pryor being all over it. Mace. Now Ishikawa. Hayashi. Wheeler. Plays it into Pacheco. Hayashi. Pass inside. This one back by Miedemar. And now Yamashita. CW onto the screen says, City, don't you want to be like United and lose? That'd be fun.
Oh, I bet Mark Skinner was furious when he found out the result.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I think he'd been furious either way. But yeah, when he found out it was a draw and it was a missed opportunity to gain on both of Chelsea and Arsenal. City do not want to make that same mistake.
Harvey. Back to Rose.
But it's what pressure does to football teams. Some teams love it, some teams hate it. At the moment,
Harvey tidy there through the legs of Snice. And then it looked like Vignola was fouled there, but play continues. City making the pitch wide with Hemp, who can't quite keep it under her control. And yeah, that Vignola effort. How did that not go in?
Yamashita was beaten.
Off the inside of the post.
And all the way across the goal line.
Trickles away.
He hits it with some venom. The Yamashita beaten, and City just had to watch it span across the line and out for a throw. Wow. Millimetres away from 2-2. And that's the kind of situation we're in.
Pacheco. Blocked well. Vignola. Great hold up. Back now to Ramsey.
So that is Kitagawa on for Pacheco.
Oh yeah, change as well. Ishikawa. Back now to Ramsey. One back high here by Hemp. Now Shaw. Touch and turn.
What
for
a
Gino.
waste. What a waste from Shaw. Got to be a better pass.
Yeah.
That was a chance to kill it off. Poor pass from Ramsey. Hemp was all over it. And Khadija Shaw just tries to shift it for Gino and gets it all wrong. Let off for Everton. They're still in this game.
Brilliant from Vignola. Such a good touch. Out now to Robinson. Got to make something happen here, Everton. Robinson. Trying to beat Ua Harvey. Does so. Comes inside. Brilliant from Robinson across the box. Who's there to finish it? Saved incredibly by Yamashita. Kitagawa. Moments after coming on, almost fired past her compatriot, but it's a great stop from Yamashita. Excellent work from Robinson on the right-hand side. Shimmies inside. Cuts back. She was looking for Vignola. It's just too far in front of her.
What a save. Ayaka Yamashita.
Oh, that should be 2-2. If that had gone to Vignola, it's in.
Brilliance from Robinson. Let off for City. Yamashita coming up big again.
Gargo heads back across. Heads away well by Miedemar. Gargo. Can't see off the physical battle of Lauren Hemp. Now Kasparai. Who drives across Gargo and goes down.
Big 15 minutes. Yamashita, another big save. We've seen a couple of those today. Denied Gargo from the corner in the first half. That big save there.
Can't believe that's not gone in.
Pays to have a very good goalkeeper.
Natalie and Shell, can't believe it. Either ball down the right hand side, looking for the run of Laura Blinker around, but it's one back. And that will be an Everton goal kick.
Everton are going to make City work for this one. They have done for 75 minutes. But you feel they've got nothing to lose now, the Toffees. Got to go for it. And they're already putting City under a lot of pressure.
Mace. Snoice. Now Robinson. Nice shift inside to Wheeler. Everton are coming into this with 15 to play. Kitagawa now. Swings it in the box. Headed away by Rose. Gargo will compete for it. It'll drop for Vignola. Blocked by Blinkhilda Brown. Vignola again. Okay, that's good from Kasparai to win it back. And now City could break. And it's Shaw up against Ishikawa. City not getting up quick enough in support. They do now. It's for Gino.
Shaw's got to go alone there. Got to try and burst past Ishikawa.
Normally, I think she would, yeah.
As I say, we know how good she can be. Just needs to use her pace and strength there. Knock it past her and run.
Now Ua Harvey. Back to Kasparai. And now City can play. It's Blinkhilda Brown. For Gino. Kasparai. Now Rose. Plays it forward. Comes out well by Mace. Here's Miedemar. Hasegawa. Ua Harvey. Now Hemp. Can she beat Home Guard? Not quite. Harvey. Hemp. City tentative at this stage. Hasegawa blocked well.
City are trying to find that balance between wanting to kill the game off but not being too aggressive or giving anything away.
Here is Viviana Miedemar. On the edge. City continue to probe. Rose. Kasparai. Virgino. Shaw. Keeps working hard. Goes down. And now Everton look to break. Vignola. Lifts it out to the left-hand side. Probably not the right idea. Gargo, though, will put Rose under pressure. Now Yamashita. Launches it out to this right-hand side. One by Kasparai. Pokes onto Shaw. One more to Miedemar. Round the corner into Hemp. Puts it in the area. Looking for Khadija Shaw. Who does get a shot on target. But it's a tame effort. Ishikawa lets her get away from her too easy.
Yeah, almost bounced up her shin, didn't it? Didn't really feel... Just felt like it hit her more than her having any direction behind it.
Oh, she definitely didn't put any power on, did she?
No.
Pass back to Ramsey.
Let off for Ishikawa because she let Shaw get around the back there and let her get to the ball.
Kitagawa. Going to go in behind. Robinson. She get a shot away. It's blocked well by Pryor. Strong in there, Robinson. Now Holmgard. Wheeler. Hayashi. Kitagawa. Back towards Hayashi. Who's battling away with Virgino. And that is an Everton throw-in.
Really tight, this one. Going to be really, really tight. I think Everton are making another change here. They're going for the game.
Indeed they are. And that is Mamiki. But first, on comes Clinton and Lohman. And I believe that'll be for Viviana Miedemar. And for... Try to work out the other one is.
Blinkhildebrand.
Laura Blinkhildebrand. I was trying to think who number 6 was. I remembered it's Clinton. I was thinking 6 was coming off, but obviously it was in green. I don't know. Meanwhile, for Lohman, Blinkhildebrand off for Clinton. Changes in midfield then.
Just looking to shore up, hold on to this 3 points, and it'd be a big 3 points if they could.
And now Yuka Mamiki for Everton.
Surely it's got to be defensive players. There's no point in it being a like for like. It's bringing Kelly Gargo off.
Kelly Gargo.
I'm not sure about that. You're chasing an equaliser against one of the best teams in the league with 10 minutes to go and you're bringing Kelly Gargo off.
Odd choice. If anyone's going to score it, it's going to be Gargo. But can Mamiki be the difference maker?
Maybe.
And get Everton a point which wouldn't be entirely undeserved. They've played well here. They've fought well here. No had chances.
Again, it's like what we said on the earlier stream between Brighton and Liverpool. It feels like Everton have brought one of their best performances of the season against the City side. Have probably brought one of their worst performances of the season. And I
don't think it would have been too bad. It's just how they play. They're really open. They just give away a lot of chances. I think actually this is one of the games where they're giving away some of the fewest chances.
True, but in obviously than that, the downside of that is they don't look like they're going to score all the time.
No, true.
Which isn't a bad
Again, I think
trade-off.
Again, I'd argue they had the chances.
Mm.
Different game, maybe this would be like those London City and Tottenham games, but Everton have defended well at times, and they've also ridden their luck at times. Hemp. Harvey. Good defending that from Holmgard. Looks out of play.
Plenty to think about for Andre Jeglertz. The one thing he'll be hoping that he definitely knows about at the end of this game will be that his side will be top of the league.
Driving it forwards. Into Lohman. Cuts it back.
Oh,
Cleared away well.
right idea. Looking for Clinton on the edge of the area. But Kitagawa got that. Good combination between Hemp and Lohman. Made a very good run, and yeah, it was Clinton arriving on the edge of the area.
I think was the intended target there, yeah.
And now Emily Ramsey has got an issue.
This is a
I think
for a timeout,
I think Brian Sorensen fancies a break.
Yeah, they need something to they need to talk.
Wants to give his side a couple of minutes. Yeah. City are having to work for this. Really work for this. Both sides will get an opportunity now to break. Final instructions. Oh wow, she could be at least be a better actor. She's laughing.
Yeah.
Jeglertz,
Well, one's just poking her foot.
maybe. Jeglertz has got the tactics board out. Final instructions. He knows more than the experience on him. He knows how important these 3 points could be to go top of the league, to be the pace setters from this point onwards. Massively help their season.
Yeah, 5 goals from Shaw this season.
Not bad, is it?
Wait, if it's the top scorer now. It's just that she's not on 10 at this point. She's at 10.
She is usually at 10 at this point.
But yeah. No, I think she's done well. I still think, I don't know what her total XG is today, but I still think she probably should have scored more than
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, yeah, 1.4 XG. 2 big chances missed. So I don't think it's too harsh to say that first half she should have scored at least one of her chances.
Yeah.
Sigawa launching that forwards. It will be an Everton goal kick.
Yeah, Ramsey taking the time to retrieve that from behind the goal. Everton are in no rush.
They should be. It's a bit of urgency. There you go.
That's a good point. Yeah, why did
Ishikawa. I think I genuinely just couldn't work out how to get off the fence. Or I hit there's some sort of fence up there because they're doing something with the seats, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think they're replacing a lot of them. Here is Pryor. Plays it into Shaw. And here comes City down the right hand side. Kasperai. For Gino. Lohman. Back towards Firgino. One back, and here come Everton. Mamiki. Plays it in behind. Here's Snice. That's right, Robinson. Takes Sonu or Harvey. Puts it across the box. Blocked well by Lohman. And knocked out for a throw.
Everton probing. Again, Robinson's looked really sharp since she came on. Uwa Harvey has struggled to contain it. Again, home side not done in this game. And they're putting numbers forward.
Ishikawa. Mace. Nice ball around the corner from Mamiki. Home guard. Kept in well by Mamiki. Tries to get it back to someone. Clinton. Vignola. Mamiki. Robinson. Puts it in the box. Headed out by Kasperai. It's an Everton corner.
Oh, I tell you
Well,
what.
that's where you want Gargo in it, but she's
Yeah.
on the bench now.
City are just having to ride this out at the end of this game. Everton will fancy it. The home fans will believe they can take something from this game. Opportunity knocks.
Mace over this. Not a bad delivery.
Ooh.
Away though. No one from Everton can meet it. And Kasperai breaks away.
Ooh.
It's nice. Sides it down, and that will be a yellow card and a free kick for City.
Yeah, smart from the Snoise. Tactical foul. Take Kasperai out. Don't let her progress. Take the yellow card. Yeah, no complaints about that one. 2 minutes in a normal time. Plus whatever gets added.
Who are we? Wants to send it forwards. Flicked on, or held up well by Shaw. She's brought down in there. It's a bit of a soft free kick. Not sure there was enough in that for me, but free kick to City.
Sure, we're very happy. Be very happy with that. Again, another opportunity for City. Take the pace out of the game, slow it down, set this free kick up, and look to just see this through. Keep the ball up the other end. Keep it in the Everton half. Don't let Everton come at them. If the ball is in the Everton third, then Everton can't score.
That's true. Unless they've got someone who can score from 75 yards.
I mean, I'm surprised that City are putting this in the penalty area. I really am.
Yeah, if they get the goal though, it's done, isn't it? I don't think
True.
Everton have left anyone forwards, have they?
Potentially not. Oh no, they are going to the corner.
Sagawa
Okay, I'm not sure. They're messing around with it, is what they're doing.
drives inside. Hasegawa opens up space. Lohman, Hasegawa, Lohman. I've held the ball for a minute, but they are.
That was silly.
Well, it's just been cleared right back to him for some reason. Pagino, now Kasperai. One back well by Mamiki. Vignola, brilliant to win it back. Hayashi, Vignola, trying to create some space. Plays it in behind Uahavi. Robinson will get there. It's a take on Uahavi. Got to be some added time. 6 minutes of additional time. And that is a goal kick for City. Time for Everton to find an equaliser.
Big 6 minutes now for both teams. Again, Robinson, she's had the better of Uahavi.
Under her control, could she?
No. But still, that's been a danger point for Everton. Yamashita taking a sweet time out this front.
Kept in well by home guards. Apparently not.
And City have done well there to lose a minute.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you need to do in this situation. Everton have got to get the ball forwards.
Now Mace. Ishikawa. Mace. And now Fernandez down the line into Holmgard. Try to switch the play. Not enough really on that one. Kasperai. Now Fagino. Carries the ball forwards. Looking dangerous. Nice movement. Drops now for Hemp, and that's blocked well.
What a run by Fagino. Hemp does well to get target. Big block though from Everton.
Bit of mess from Ramsey, but she will get there.
Brilliant from Fagino. Did everything right. Cuts it back. Clinton leaves it for Hemp, who tried to just find the far corner, but a big block from Mace to keep it out. Another minute gone, but still only 2-1.
Ball around the corner. Great hold up from Vignola. Just brought down. That is a throw in.
Free kick. Why have they gone short? Why would you go short of a free kick at this point in the game?
Still got players in the box. They can deliver it. Ball through the lines. Vignola puts it in there. It's nice looking for it. Home guard tries to keep it alive. Hayashi can't quite get there. Cleared forwards by Clinton. Now Mace. Ball out to the left-hand side. Robinson. Headed across. And that is out for a Man City goal kick, and they will run the clock down as much as they can.
Yeah, deep ball. Kitagawa needed to head that back across goal to keep it alive. Instead, she just tried to flick it goalwards. Was never gonna find the back of the net from there. Had to try to set one of her teammates up. Yeah, another goal kick, and again Yamashita will take time out of this match.
Pretty sure player of the match is a odd choice. Yeah, she's called a header.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's... Well, I thought she was pretty poor today with the amount of chance she missed. The header was good, don't get me wrong, but that's interesting.
And again, it was that standard she sets. Clearly, Shaw scoring a goal in the game for me isn't player of the match worthy.
No, but it's also because she missed two. You know, if she'd scored today with her only chance and looked brilliant with the hold up and everything, yeah, but her general performance hasn't really been at the standard. She missed two big chances. Honestly, someone like Miedemar, I've been quite critical of Miedemar this season, but I think the way that she was able to make those runs in the channels was really impressive. Or, you know, maybe someone like a Tony Payne. I thought she was really good despite Everton losing.
At the moment.
Home guard. It's blocked.
Oh, what's City doing?
Bit of a mess there. Lohman sends it forward, one back by Vignola. Headed away, only as far as Mace, who takes aim from range, and then was on target. It almost trickled all the way through.
Yamashita saw that late.
I don't know what Sorensen wanted there.
Someone to head it in.
Someone to head it in on the floor.
Oh, Mace hit that.
Sorry, had make on it. Probably would have gone in. Here is Mace. 30 seconds to go. It's got to go forwards quickly from Everton. They're going to find an equaliser. Vignola brought down, free kick for Everton. 20 seconds to play. Imagine that with that. Mace. Kitagawa. I'm back by Hasegawa. Now City will look to break for Gino. Carries it forwards, out to the right-hand side. Hasegawa. And that is full time here at Goodison Park. Everton 1, Manchester City 2. Shaw with the winning header. City, they weren't perfect, but they stuttered well to victory. And they withstood a lot of pressure from Everton right at the end of that game. And that sees them top of the Women's Super League for the first time since 2023. I think. Big day for City.
Yeah, they're back there. That's what matters. First time under Jeglertz, definitely. But a massive step in the right direction. A big win. Wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. Taking advantage of the other sides in the title race, all dropping points this weekend. And now, after 8 match weeks, City are the pace setters in the league, which is crucial. Everyone has got to chase them down now. It's only a point, but a point is a point, and you can win the league with a point, by a point.
Absolutely. Shell says, never mind, should have got a draw at least. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Shell. Thank you for tuning in. We're back with more in the midweek with Champions League action, and then we're back with WSL football next weekend, our final weekend of action of November before a 2-week break of WSL football, and then we're back for 2 match weeks in December. So we're nearing now the Christmas period, Christmas break.
It gets interesting.
Well, exactly. Next 4 weeks will be really important for the season. Next 4 game weeks, I should say. But yeah, that is everything. Next 3 games, actually, for Christmas. That is everything. Natalie says, well, Chelsea have chased City before. I'm sure we can catch them. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for tuning in, Natalie. Exactly. City play United this weekend. Or next weekend. This weekend coming. Yeah. That will be the important one. Because United haven't lost yet to anyone not called Aston Villa. So...
right.
City aren't called Aston Villa. Yes. But yeah, we'll be back with more next weekend. Hope you have enjoyed today. And yeah, look out for our weekend roundup on Tuesday. That is everything. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.